Hey guys, good morning. We're over here on the beautiful Lake Allatoona, my home lake. It's good to be back out here. I don't get to fish out here as much as I used to, so it's kind of serene being out here this morning. Today we're out here with Cody Kirk, and we're going over a new bait that we designed. It's called the Dredge 18. And what we're doing is we're going to show you how we're fishing this bait. This is a big 8-inch crankbait that gets down to about 18 feet, give or take, depending on how long your cast is, what kind of line you get, and that kind of stuff. And what we have here is an active target. It's a version of where you can see your bait actually coming back at you, and that is how we are judging how deep this bait grows, how deep it dives. We tried different types of lines, copoly and fluorocarbon, and we've tried to see which one does the best and actually see the differences between the two lines and how deep you get, or how deep you don't get. So here Cody's here talking, he's looking at the binoculars, he's looking for fish, and he's also watching his crankbait. If he sees a fish follow, he can stop and that kind of stuff. But for this purposes, we're just going to show how deep the bait dives. And I'm going to show you a bit of a technique before we get into that. So what Cody does here, he's got the MBA 36, my rod, and he's going to make a super long cast. What I want you to notice now is what he does now. Watch how hard he's cranking that bait. He's burning that thing down. That's what a lot of things we do in Mexico is we do those XD10s, is you burning that sucker down the first 15, 20 handle turns, and then you start your retrieve. So what you're doing there is you're making that long cast, you're trying to get it down to the strike zone, the depth that you want it quickly. So basically your trajectory pattern is like this and go down versus a nice semicircle if you were to do a normal retrieve. So on the semicircle, you'll just barely touch 18 feet. On the burn, you will get it faster, and you will stay in that 18 feet range longer. So that's one of the things a lot of people don't realize about crankbaits. You just sit there and casually reel, you're not going to get your target depth. Cody's active target, you can see the bait moving along right there at the 15-foot mark. You see how it's already down at 15 on only like a quarter of his cast because he cranked it down, but you can see he's working that 15-foot mark. What you also need to understand is Cody has a 52-inch shaft trolling motor. So you're looking at about another 3 to 4 feet deeper than what you see there. So you're looking at maybe the 18-foot mark on a regular 20-pound monofilament or fluorocarbon. The key here is to make those long casts and really crank that thing down the first 20 turns of the handle so that you can get that depth quicker and keep that bait in that depth range that you're looking to get for longer periods of time. You can see he's working up on a fish right there. He didn't react to it.
No, it's turning around. It's turning around.
So that's the thing with these active targets is you're able to adjust your retrieve based on what the fish is reacting to. But it's pretty cool to see that we're getting almost 18 feet with the added distance of the length of the trolling motor shaft. It's really hard to keep this thing. The beam width of these fish finders are very narrow, so it's difficult to keep in there. It's kind of tricky, to keep that in there. I see another cast coming. There he comes on the right side of the screen. He's down there at the 15-foot mark already and working his way down. Pretty consistent. This bait is a slow floater. It almost sinks, but it's very, very, very close to being a sinker. So he did super tune that thing to be almost a sinker, but it just barely floats. So it's pretty cool to be able to judge your distance and stuff on these units and actually physically see the depth versus guessing on how deep it can get. Cody's kneeling just a little bit to get a little bit extra depth. He's way down there at the 15-foot still. He's on the lower part of 15, it looks like. He's just working around. You see those fish? He got a little bit right there.
Come on.
probably
It's
small
interesting
spotted
to
bass.
see the way that they've drawn the fish up.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing that's really interesting to me is that these fish are coming from the depths to look at this bait, and you can really see that.
One thing I wanted to add that Mike didn't touch on is the way this bait comes through cover with this big lip that allows it to come right over branches and trees. With these,